Well, Gary Cooper, hello, hello. It's
Hello.
only been 40 years. You had a lot less,
39.
39. You had a
Somebody
lot
corrected me
less
today on
facial
that.
hair back then, and I had a lot more head hair on my head way back then.
There's a reason I wear a hat. So
So, hey, man, thank you so much for willing to do this and sit down and talk a little bit with us and chat and catch up with one another. So Gary, man, back in the summer of 1983, we were bright-eyed and ready to take on the world. You left Mitchell and you went to Arizona.
yep.
Is that right? What in the world took you to Arizona?
I came out here to go to the Variety Institute for Electronics.
Oh, okay.
And that lasted a little over a semester. And I ran out of money because I was running away from my dad because he wanted me to stay there and go to some tech school in Indianapolis. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm out of here. So
No go.
came out here and got to go to some school.
39 years later, you're still there.
Yes. It's been a good trip.
Fantastic. So my memory is you from high school. You're this smart, skinny kid, never afraid to tell everybody what you thought. So take me back to high school. Tell me a few of your favorite memories from back in Mitchell, and who did you spend the most time with back in the day?
Well, I think my favorite time was I used to go to Mac's roller ring,
Oh yeah.
And Mac was actually my bus driver for high school and junior high and high school. Mac was my bus driver for, I don't know how many years until we moved. So we moved, I can't remember. We lived out the country first, then we moved into town and out. It's been weird. Because, I wasn't in Mitchell the whole time. I was in Orleans for a semester, I think, or half a year. Then we had 100 acres out in Orangeville and our house burnt down.
Oh my, okay.
So we moved back to Mitchell because we had 2 trailer parks and a bunch of trailers that we rented out in Mitchell. So that's why I was back there. But I used to hang out Mark Harrison, Melanie Fancher.
Okay, all right.
Johnny Knight. My wife's telling me people already. Becky Gherkin, yeah. All the names, which I talk to them once in a while. I probably talk to Mark and Johnny and Melanie more than anybody. Used to hang out with Ray Lindsay and Patty Blackerby. Ray Lindsay just passed away. I don't know if you ever knew Ray Lindsay or not.
Yeah, I remember the name. I remember who he is. Yeah.
He just passed away from cancer. And I actually just touched base with him, 6 months ago, and was planning on seeing him. Then he told me what was going on. It's like,
that's too
and I hadn't talked to him in 38 years or whatever,
Wow. Man, the power of Facebook for us to kind of begin to reconnect ourselves, and because how in the world else would we ever sit down and chat, so far apart? And we were talking a little bit before we got on the camera that I used to live in Phoenix. We were there at the same time, had no idea. I mean, if we had Facebook, we would have been able to connect up.
Exactly.
In the day, but you had no idea otherwise. So when you moved out to Arizona, you started with school, and then I think you mentioned to me you started out with the sheriff's department. Talk to me a little bit about what all you've been doing since you've been out there.
Well, I started out. I came out here and I went to school. I actually went to the Air Force for a short time. I went through basic training and got into tech school. Then I had some problems with my sinuses and allergies.
Oh, wow.
They did a test on me on my back, and they do the dots on your back, and they said I was allergic to everything, including my mother, so that was really bad. So they said either, you try to find something or, just get out. It's like, well, pay is not what I thought it'd be. So I just got out.
Gotcha.
Then I came back here and, I worked for a company delivering backhoes and bulldozers for many years, besides working with the sheriff's office as a volunteer.
Okay.
I was a test driver at General Motors for 4 years.
Oh, wow.
On the durability course, they have a big 5-mile round track that I would do tests on there, then do mountain runs. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, I bet.
Then, what was the other things I did before? I got the sheriff's office. I was a dispatcher. Then I became a detention officer.
Oh, man.
I was a service tech. And I was a certified maintenance tech. Then I became a service tech.
Gotcha.
So it was a lot of fun. And then all that time I was still doing volunteer, still working Lake Patrol, working with K-9, working with the district deputies, doing patrol. So I had 2 sides of the sheriff's office. The volunteer side, I worked the streets, and the work side, I worked in the jails and
Okay.
Basically, I worked in the jails all the time, basically.
Did you ever work in those that canvas
Oh,
detention?
Kent City, yeah. See,
Yeah.
Sheriff Joe was my third sheriff.
Okay.
He's actually the reason why, because what was it, 93? I was
Yes.
out on a search looking for, I think it was for a kid. I don't remember, it's been too long ago. But he goes, why don't you work for me? I was like, well, I'm a volunteer. He goes, well, why don't you work for me? It's like, well, I guess I never really thought about it. So he said, what do you want to do? I said, well, I try with dispatch because I like to do that kind of stuff. So
Right.
he got me my first job in dispatch. Then
Oh,
I
no
went from
kidding.
there. Yeah. So yeah,
He's such a
he's a
he's
nice
such a
guy.
larger than life character, and gets a lot of national media. So I mean, talk to me a little bit about him. Is he really like he is? What you see on television, kind of what you
Yeah.
see, what you get.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I would see him at searches after that, or he would come to our banquets. He'd go, yeah, there's my friend Gary Cooper, and because of my name, he used to always give me shit about my name.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Could
was a
he
nice
spell it
guy.
right? Like, because I seem to butcher your name. Could he spell it right?
Yeah, 2 R's. Yep. 2 R's. Garry. Yep.
Oh, mercy. So
But yeah, you would be surprised at people I would call and say, they spelled your name wrong. Let me fix it. Like, no, they didn't. It's right.
that's funny.
It happens so often. It's just crazy.
I think in texting you back and forth, I don't know how many times I misspell it. I catch myself on the back end of it all the time. So
Everybody
Gary,
does.
so tell me about this rodeo stuff, and I can kind of see in the background you've got some of your stuff there. Um, I am super interested. How in the world did you get interested in riding and in the rodeo and all the things you did there?
Well, in the sheriff's office, one of our things that we had is we made money donations by working the rodeo. So I started out doing security for the rodeo with the sheriff's office.
Okay. Okay.
And I would go out there, work the dances. We have like Charlie Daniels and Blake Shelton, Miranda Lambert, some of the names we had out there. Aaron Tippin was one of the ones that my wife did dance chairman for that I got to meet. But I started out there, then I got sucked into what they call the Scottsdale JCs.
Okay.
The organization back then that ran the rodeo. So, I started out as a security chairman in 95 and worked my way to tickets and to finance and to Parada boss in 2002.
All right. Explain what Parada boss means.
It means I'm basically the president over the whole rodeo.
Oh,
So
wow.
everything that happens, it has to go through me and the board of directors, which we call our exec committee. So,
did you ever do anything crazy, like actually get on a crazy horse or a bull or anything like that and
the
participate?
closest I came to is riding a mechanical bull at, it was Graham Central Station back then. That was many
Right.
years ago.
Right.
I was, what? No, well, that's not a wild animal, honey. But we're in a lot of parades, especially when I got into Hash Knife with the Pony Express. We did a
Right.
lot of it. But yeah, I worked my way up through for the rodeo, and that's when you become what they call elect, Prada boss elect. Get invited to go on the Hash Knife Pony Express ride because
Oh,
they
really?
actually started that as to kick off the rodeo many years ago. So I was invited on the ride to go my year's Prada boss elect. Then they just kept inviting me, re-inviting me. So I rode for 10 years. But yeah, when you become boss and after you're done with boss, you stay on the committee for 5 years after that to help give advice to the other bosses coming in.
Gotcha. Wow.
So I did that. Then I came off the board. Then I still stayed. I stayed, well, it's been 35 years now. I've lost track.
Oh,
35
wow.
years I've been doing this for the
Okay.
rodeo.
So you like the rodeo then?
Yeah, but I basically just produce it. I'm just, my job now is anything outside the rodeo arena, like the tickets, the vendors, the grounds, that's all. I'm in charge of all that. I have people that work for me. I'm in charge of all the security, the police, the fire. So they all report to me and I pay them. So,
Got it. So I saw the little video you sent me about the Hash Knife Pony Express. That was just a little short clip. Give me an introduction on what it actually does, how long it's been around, and the bits and pieces to that.
I think that Pony Express started in 1956. And one of their first rides was they brought the mail down to from Holbrook to Phoenix to give it to the governor, one letter.
Okay.
And that's how it started out. Then they got with the Parada, and they started out an annual thing where they would actually collect mail going all the way up to Holbrook. And when you get up there, they hand stamp, cancel all the letters by hand. So when you got the letter in the mail, the only markings were from us. No, the post
Only
office,
Express,
didn't
okay.
mark it. So we marked each one by hand. And like I said, our 50th year, I think we had 25,000 pieces of mail that we carried on the ride.
Oh, wow.
And with that amount, for the guy in charge of the mail, the bag would go for a couple of miles. They'd swap out another one. So each bag got to go along the whole route.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's 200 miles from Holbrook to Scottsdale.
Okay.
And basically you have a partner. My partner was Tom Hill, and we would start, at 1 mile marker. I would drop him off. I'd go down a mile and I'd park my truck, get my horse out. He would get the mail from the guy behind him and haul ass to me, hand off the mail to me. Then I would run down route to the next team, hand them the mail. He would come pick up the mail for me and gone,
And you just kind of redo that circle?
The first, every 30 miles we had a ride the first day. And I think the
Okay.
second day was every 50 miles. Then the third day, it depends on what's going on. Yeah, I sent him a picture of that. But yeah, that's the art that somebody
Oh, how cool.
did
All
for
right.
us.
Yeah.
We had an artist, and the original print was a lot bigger, and she wanted $6,000 for it. It's like, yeah, I don't think so. But
Oh, that's very cool.
he made this for me, which is a canvas of it, and I've never put it up anywhere except in my bedroom.
So how many miles would you ride at a time then?
You and your partner did 2 miles. You did a
Okay.
mile, your partner did a mile, then you went down 30 miles, you did it all over again.
Oh, I see. So, wow. How many riders are there then? There's got to be quite a few.
30 riders,
Okay.
30 riders.
All right. Wow.
And
Now,
basically you go along and you both are running and you hand the bag off and you say hash knife as you hand the bag off to your partner and you move on.
so
They
now
show that-
are you actually a part of the U.S. Postal System? Or
You're sworn in as postal employees, as postal carriers each year for the ride. Yep.
That's pretty interesting.
I think, let's see, I'm trying to think, let's see here. You see that one up top there?
Yeah.
That's all of us lined up being sworn in 2003 by the postmaster.
Oh man, that's so cool. Very interesting. So how much do you ride, Gary?
I don't hardly ever ride anymore.
Do you not?
No, because, I live in downtown Phoenix, and the hash knife was mainly my way of getting out and riding. And
Got
that was the only thing I did. I can't
So
remember.
when was the last
ride.
one you did?
2011 was the last ride I
Oh, I
did.
see. Okay. All right.
After I got sick after that and I stopped riding.
Got it. So what do you do today? Tell me, what kind of work are you doing now, and what's in the future for you?
Right now, I am not working. I've been sick for the last 11 years, and I've actually gotten better. I got chronic pain fibromyalgia,
Oh wow.
and for a long time they had me on some pretty hefty medication. And in the last couple of years, I've been able to work with the Mayo Clinic
Oh wow.
and actually work myself off all the different meds where I don't take anything at all.
Oh
And
wow.
when I did that, everybody goes, oh, you need to try CBD or marijuana. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
So I've waited and waited and I kept doing the classes that Mayo taught me about how to, go work through my pain. And
Right.
I finally decided here just recently that I'm actually going to go back to work. So I'm going to go back to work, probably doing some IT stuff. I got a friend that needs someone helping with IT. So
Gotcha.
that's what I'm thinking, planning on doing as of
So-
right now.
So when was the last time you were back in Mitchell?
93.
No kidding. So it's been, oh
Oh,
wow.
no, and I'm sorry. I actually wrote notes because my mind is not as good as it used to be. It was, 2013.
Oh, 23rd. Okay. So about 10 years ago then.
I was close.
9 years ago. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
10, 20
Twenty-
years. Yeah,
2013 was the last time I was there.
got it. Got it. And how long did you stay? And
I think I was there like 3 days.
okay.
Came out there because we met at the park for the kind of a reunion thing, and I actually
Oh.
stayed with Mark Harrison out at his place out there.
Okay. All right.
But we did that, went to the Persimmon Festival. I went to the parade because, part of our rodeo stuff is a parade.
Oh, sure.
And there's a lot of different requirements for the way things happen out here, as far as things you can do in the parade and
Right.
how close you can get to people. So when I was there for that parade, I was like freaking out because they were spinning tractors around by
Exactly.
people and everything like it's like, you can't do that in Phoenix, man. They'll pull you off the parade route.
I was the general chairman for the Persimmon Festival in 1999.
Oh,
And
wow.
you have people do that parade for you, and they do all the stuff like Albert Chastain was the guy that ran the parade for man, that man was like a machine. He would have that stuff coming and going, and there was no messing around, but it was a lot of fun to have to see the horses and different stuff that come through.
Oh, I enjoyed it. When I first became part of the rodeo, our horse was only horse drawn. If you didn't have a horse to pull it, it wasn't the parade.
Okay.
I think it was 2000 and I want to say 2008. They changed it where they let vehicles in for the regular parade. They had like a free parade for, fire and police and all that. But for the regular parade, if you didn't have a horse back then, you weren't in the parade. We were considered one of the largest horse-drawn parades in the US. So.
Huh. Well, the Mitchell Persimmon Festival is the second largest parade in the state of Indiana, next to only the Indianapolis 500. So it's so even to this day, it's still one of the very largest parades out there. So it's kind of neat.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I definitely want to. That's kind of. I want to go back out the next year for the parade and all that.
Got it.
That's the plan. Anyhow, we'll see how it works.
So, do you still have family back in Mitchell?
I have cousins. My dad's twin sister still lives in Bedford. I haven't talked to her in 10 years.
Gotcha.
I don't really keep in touch with my cousins and stuff in Indiana. I have some on my mom's side that I keep in touch with, but not very many. It's just, I don't know why. It never really did. I think I have more contact with people now because of Facebook.
Yeah.
A lot of my mom's family, my cousin and my Aunt Harriet, which was my mom's twin brother's wife. See, all my mom and her brother and sisters are all gone. And my dad, I think all of his brothers and sisters are gone, except for maybe his twin sister. So my mom had a twin brother, my dad had a twin sister.
Gotcha. Wow.
They were the youngest in the family. But they had, I think mom had 14 brothers and sisters, and dad had 13 brothers and sisters.
You would think they'd figure out what caused it, right?
Yeah, they call that no TV here,
Oh man, speaking of Mitchell, Mayor Hancock just recently passed away, like in the past 6 months or so, if I'm not mistaken.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, my biggest sadness was Butch Chastain, because I used to always hang around Butch, and he was the police chief and the mayor, and
yeah,
and I would always go see him when I went out there because he was my friend, and to hear him pass away, that was really hard on me too.
All right, man. So we're 1 year away from our 40th high school class reunion. I really don't understand how that time has flown that fast, but we're 1 year away from that. So I know we've talked about this before. Every year, every 5 years it comes up. What should we do for a reunion? Like the last time we all met at the Mitchell Community Building, Mike York brought in pizzas for us all. We had a nice time there. But I'd sure like to figure out a way that more people would participate and more people would come out to the reunion. I'm hoping we can, using some of these videos, that people will throw some comments out there, what they would think that would work. Love to hear your thoughts and what you think would work to try and get more people to show up. And I'd sure as heck like to see some people. Like the other day, just earlier this week, I saw that Danny Bishop, of all people, was on Facebook. I had never connected with him. And I connected with Danny Bishop on Facebook. I haven't thought about Danny Bishop forever. And so I'd love to see people like that, but I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Definitely, I think around Persimmon time, especially because it's our 40th year, I think that it should be like a two-stage thing where anybody that wants to come, we can maybe do like a picnic on Saturday at the park.
Okay.
Just have everybody show up and mingle, or maybe do a dinner that night, somewhere. But I think that some families just don't have the resources or the money to spend, $100 to come and have a big dinner somewhere. But, it's maybe something out of Spring Mill might even be better. I think we did something at Spring Mill years and years and years ago.
Yeah, that was one of our first ones, maybe like a 10-year, if I recall. where we were out.
Yeah, I
at-
think it was. That's because my wife came with me on that one. She wasn't my wife then, but yeah,
I think that's what that one was, if I remember, but
yeah.
all right, well, I hope we get some comments on Facebook page from this about people, what their thoughts are and what the ideas are. And see, we maybe can get, again, more participation of people showing up. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I
And
think it'd be great.
yeah, I'm hoping a little bit of this, again, some of our conversations here will spur some interest and we'll get some more people to look at it. All right, Gary, I'm down to my last question. I kind of prepped you ahead of time, so I'll let you know what I was going to ask. I've been asking everybody the same question. Tell me your best theory on who painted the water tower.
You were mentioned that before on the other videos, and I'm thinking, I don't remember even being painted. So
Oh my gosh, really?
it's not even a memory of mine. I was thinking who I could blame it on. I thought maybe I'd blame it on Sam Wilson or,
Wilson, I love it.
but I haven't even talked to Sam for a while either. I seen him the last time I was out there, but maybe it was Gary Gherkin. There you go. There's
Yeah,
somebody.
there we go. We'll blame Gary Gherkin. We'll blame Gary Gherkin. Because we know it wasn't David Shelby climbing that thing all the way up there. I mean, he would be a good candidate for it.
Yeah, yeah. We had a lot of characters, in high school. That's for sure.
Right.
I was more like one of the nerds, I think, in high school. Me and like 76 40 LTD with my bumping stereo.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
I had one of the, I think I had one of the loudest stereos in high school.
Oh, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. Well, Gary, man, this has been an absolute pleasure. Loved catching up with you. I hope we weren't too boring for people to actually watch this.
Yeah, I know I'm a pretty boring guy, but I've had a lot of
Me
fun
too,
stuff
buddy.
over the year, and
Me
I
too.
don't really think about all the stuff I was going through pictures last night. I think I sent you a couple more pictures.
Yeah.
It's just like the Buddhist temple murders. You ever heard about those out here? The Buddhist temple murders?
No.
That happened when I was at the sheriff's office. I actually did
Oh,
security
wow.
out there. I was working at General Motors. I did
Oh,
security
wow.
out there watching the property. And I went out to work the next day. I did a mountain run, and I went into a Circle K, and I was on the front cover of the Arizona Republic. And it showed me walking the line there.
Oh, no kidding.
Pictures I
Oh,
sent you.
wow.
Yeah. So
Man,
it's just
that's
weird the way things come around.
Yeah, no kidding.
But
Well,
I've
look,
said-
I'm definitely planning on being in Mitchell for our class reunion. I'll participate and help plan any way I possibly can. And definitely looking forward to connect, shaking hands and seeing you face to face for the first time in forever. And I hope other people will as well. So definitely looking forward. Again, thanks so much, man, for the time today. I appreciate it. I'm gonna hit pause here and get this thing pushed out to Facebook in a little bit. Thanks, Gary.
Sounds good, bud. Thank you.